Everyone is talking about who they want to become this year. They have lists, resolutions, goals, adding things to their life, but nobody talks about the price you have to pay to achieve those things because the truth is, you cannot become the person you want to be while holding on to the person you are right now. You are trying to drag your old self into a new life, and it's not going to work. We have this idea that change is just adding a few good habits to your life. You think that if you just add a gym membership or count your calories, that you're an athlete, that you're different, and you're wrong. The truth is that identity governs your success. And right now, if you are not the person that you want to be, you have the wrong identity. You are attached to ideas that no longer serve you, and you have to let them go before you can truly change. This is why change is so difficult and why getting someone else to change is almost impossible. It's because people have ideas of who they are and what they like and what they do, and those things hold them back because they're afraid to let go of them. It's quite difficult to let go of them. You think that's who you are, right? You have this idea that the past, the things that you've done previously are you. And unfortunately, and fortunately, they are not. You can change at any moment. Right now is the only time that matters. What you do in this moment, in this present moment, is literally the only thing that defines you. And these little moments in the present will add up to create who you are. But the moment that you decide to change, you are different, right? I'll give you an example to break this down for you. So let's say you decide right now, I'm going to be a fit person. I am a fit person. You decide that. Then you would do all the things that a fit person does, right? And you work out every day, you eat right, and in a year, you will be a fit person, right? Your identity will have changed. But the moment that you say, I'm no longer a fit person, you will start acting like an unfit person. And you will immediately become unfit. Even though your body will still be relatively fit, eventually your body will catch up to your mind, right? Your identity, everything around it is a lagging indicator for who you are. So if you develop your identity, and everything lags behind that until it catches up. You have to look at the person in the mirror, the person who procrastinates, the person who is scared, the person who settles for less, and you have to kill them. It's scary. It is quite scary to... I almost just, probably said something that you can't say on YouTube, but it's quite scary to do away with your old self, to let go of who you are, because we have a lot of attachments and people like us for who we are, and we like this and that and things, and there's all this stuff that gets tied up in this idea of us. But the moment that you realize that you can change right now and be a completely different person by tomorrow, by this afternoon, by the hour, the world kind of opens up for you because you don't have that weight. An identity is a weight. And I have had to do this many times, right? I killed my old self. I killed my old self because he was a loser. I didn't like who he was, right? He was pathetic, so I killed him. And I built up a new version of myself. But then I kind of was like, this new version of me is missing some things, right? So I had to kill myself again. I had to kill who I was again and try again. And you will continuously be in the process of rebuilding yourself from the ground up over and over and over again. Keeping some things, removing little tidbits, and, pruning a bush. It's kind of like, you cut things off, you let new things grow, and you figure out what sticks. But the real question isn't, what do you want to achieve? It's, what are you willing to give up for what you'll become? Because you have to give up yourself, and that's the scary thing. Most people say no. They want the prize, but they don't want to attend their own funeral. They want to be someone spectacular, but they don't want to leave their house. They don't want to put in the work. You have to mourn your old self. You have to say goodbye to comfort, to the bad habits, to easy days, to all of the stuff that you've attached to who you are. Because those things have to be dead. They're dead now, because if you want to become spectacular, you have to kill those parts of yourself. You have to let them go. 2025 is gone, and the person you were in 2025 needs to stay there if you are unhappy with who you were. If you're happy with who you are, then fantastic. This video doesn't really apply to you. I don't know why you're watching it, but thanks for being here, I guess. I appreciate you being here, but I mean, if you want to improve yourself, you have to destroy yourself in a way. You have to rebuild from the ashes. You know, you have to end the ideas that are holding you back. And even if you've achieved some level of success, you will develop along the way ideas that will hold you back. You will identify with things that will hold you back. The best thing is to not identify with really anything, which is quite difficult to do. It's very, very hard. You'll constantly be in the act of killing different things that crop up that you're attached to. Like, even me saying I'm a YouTuber, right, held me back from a lot of stuff, because I am a full-time YouTuber. I've really attached my identity to that idea. It's something I'm really proud of. I put in a lot of work, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears to get here, okay? I put in the work to be a full-time content creator, and I did it quickly, from what I can tell, from the stories I've heard from other people. I did it fairly fast because I really grinded. I pushed myself very hard to get here. And even the way I talk about it, you can tell that I'm attached to that idea. But the moment I was like, man, I don't really like the way that this is going. I don't like the way I'm doing things. It was really difficult to switch. I stayed stuck for like a year, trapped by that identity, because I was like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I could not escape that for a long time. It was very, because everybody talks about, this is not a new idea, right? I'm very aware. What I'm saying is not a new idea, but I'm hoping to share with you the things that I've learned that have gotten me the tiny sliver of success and the tiny sliver of a better life I've achieved. I'm hoping to share, like, if you're at 0, I'm hoping to help you get to 15 like I have, right? And so I know I'm not the first person to say this, but nobody really talks about what it's like to have to kill an identity that you like. Right? What if you like yourself, but you know you could be better, and you want to be better? You still have to kill your old self, which is really, really difficult, because there's all the flaws aren't as glaring. The pain isn't as real. It's no longer about escaping pain. It becomes aspirational, right? It's no longer, I hate my life and who I am, I need to change. It's, I think I could do more. I think I could be better. I need to change. And that's a very, very difficult thing to do. It's been very hard for me to deal with. And I can't really tell you how I managed to let go of who I was, right? I just know that I did it. And hopefully just hearing the idea of, like, I need to kill the person I used to be to become the person I want to be, hopefully that will, like, flip the switch, right? I truly believe that everybody has the potential to be their most excellent version of themselves. And everyone in the self-help space and stuff is trying to just make that happen for other people, because once you've had a little taste of what it's like to be a better version of you, it becomes addicting, because it's awesome. It truly is awesome to feel better about yourself. And I think all the content that gets made in this space is just, you just pray to God that one thing you say will flip the switch in somebody else, and maybe they'll start on the path. And so you just say the same stuff over and over again and try different ways of saying it, praying that finally you'll hit it in just the right way, that it'll change somebody's life and they can become who they want to be. So this is a very important topic to me in general, self-improvement, and I haven't talked about it much on this channel, but I plan to do more of these, one a day probably, or something close to that. And I'm gonna hope that I can just get somebody to 15 like I have, from 0 to 15, and I'm gonna figure out how to get from 15 to 50 or whatever's next, and then I'll share the lessons I've learned along the way. I wish I had documented the process earlier in this digital format. Instead, I just wrote it all down in a journal, basically, but I think this is good enough. And I wish you luck. You know, it's very difficult to pull the trigger and end who you used to be. But once you do it, the world opens up. And try not to get too attached to things along the way. Good luck. And happy 2026. Let's make sure we crush this year.